Scale of 1 to 10 here. Stephen A., you start. How much confidence do you have Miami can win it all?
Oh, I still have confidence, but it's not because of anything I saw in the series against the New York Knicks. I thought they were in relative cruise control, to be quite honest with you. I didn't think beating the New York Knicks required a lot for this team. One of the things that I was talking about with all of these guys, I mean, man to man, they all felt that this series should have been over in 4 games, that they had dropped the ball, that they should have swept the New York Knicks right out of there. But they also made sure to give and pay respects to their friend Carmelo Anthony because of his performance. And, you know, they sort of felt sorry for him because they felt like he had a one-man crew, basically. They're not going to say something like that publicly, but that's how they felt privately. But, again, they weren't really tested by the New York Knicks. I do believe they will be tested by the Indiana Pacers. They'll win, but at the same time, again, it will be a tough road. We'll see more and we'll know more about this team moving forward. But as of right now, I had picked this team to come out of the Eastern Conference, go to the NBA Finals and win it all. And I've certainly seen nothing that's transpired in these playoffs in the Eastern Conference that has led me to change my mind.
Would you give the Knicks a little more respect, please? Because I think they deserve it after those 5 games. At least they won 1 of them. And I think they're a little better than you're giving them credit for.
I think that Carmelo Anthony is a star and he deserves our respect, but I also believe that he deserves our pity, not just because of the plethora of injuries that have taken place, but also Amari Stoudemire being injured but still on the floor, and then you got the Landry Fields of the world. Don't even get me started. I'm trying to be nice today,
Okay.
Skip. I'm in a very good mood.
We'll get to the Knicks in a second.
Don't tip me off.
Skip, 1 to 10, where are you on the Heat?
I was extremely impressed with what I saw last night from the Miami Heat, which elevated my confidence level, Stephen A. Smith, to a 9 to win it all.
Wow.
A 9.
For what?
You know what I saw? I saw the Knicks give them their best shot to start off with. Bibby hits a couple threes. It's 20-14 New York. And all of a sudden, Batman said, no, not in my house. And we saw Dwayne Wade make 4 or 5 trick shots that made you say, wow. Like, I'm not sure I've seen that before. And then we saw LeBron turn into his usual stat machine. And you know what else we saw? We saw Chris Bosh again play at a consistently higher level than we saw last year. 19-7 last night. And you know what? He's become trustworthy in any crucial fourth-quarter situation, even more so than LeBron. And Stephen A., we saw the X factor kick in and X out the Knicks. And the X factor for the Heat is there are 3 guys who can make threes. There's Chalmers, and there's Battier, and there's Mike Miller. And again, I'm not saying they shoot daggers. Maybe they're more paper cuts, but those guys combined for 7 threes last night, and they were big threes that shut down the Knicks.
Will you stop?
Oh, I'm not going to stop. I was impressed.
Why don't you just pick up the drool soothing from the side of your mouth over to Miami? Oh, now give me a break. Just stop it, okay? The New York Knicks were a shell of themselves. Iman Shumpert was not there, even though Baron Davis isn't much because he's at the tail end of his career before the injury.
And where was Jeremy Lin when we needed him? Where was he?
Jeremy Lin was on the bench. He wasn't there. So, okay, so don't come up to me. I mean, it was almost like they were playing a game of horse. They were getting open shots whenever they wanted to get open shots because the Knicks were completely debilitated due to injury. So just stop it.
Okay.
Stop acting like you saw something extra special from the Miami Heat when you didn't.
I'm going to quote the great Tim Legler, who will be on this show a little later. And he always says to you, Stephen A. Smith, what did your eyes tell you? Don't forget about the opponent. What did your eyes tell you? Your eyes told you last night the Miami Heat are really good.
Now? So we're quoting Tim Legler now since when?
Yeah, he deserves it.
I have always been about the eye test. You are the ones that act like the second coming of the statistician extraordinaire, always throwing numbers out there. We are the ones who use our eye test. You don't do that. Well, we all do our homework, but the point is you sit there and you rely on certain things. We rely on our eyes more than you for understandable reasons, of course. But we do that.
Okay.
We do that.
Okay, my eyes are telling me that the Indiana Pacers, unlike what you say, have no chance. I'll give them 1 game. I'll say Heat in 5 because the Heat won 3 out of 4 against the Pacers. And I don't know if you remember this, but the one that the Pacers won was a back-to-back for Miami, in which they had just gotten obliterated at Oklahoma City by the Thunder. And so I'm going to dismiss that game with my eyes, if you'll let me. And I'm going to tell you. What's that?
No, I'm saying I understand because a lot of people feel the same way that you do, and still including some of the players. So I'm not going to knock you for that. I'm simply saying I believe it will go 6 games because I believe they will turn it into an ugly, physical series. And because of that, it'll be a little bit tougher for Miami. Miami will still win, but I'm not going to dismiss the Indiana Pacers the way that you do.
Okay, this is going to boil down to Miami's big 3 versus the Pacers' medium 2. I'll give you Granger and David West as a medium 2. But you tell me, what happens when it's 3-on-1? It's the big 3 versus Carmelo. That's what that boiled down to again and again. Carmelo got him over the hump one time in Game 4. It's going to be the same thing all over again, Stephen A.
Well, you feel that way, but again, you're discounting the ability to get back on defense, to be physical, to get into a rough and rugged matchup and question how the Heat are going to respond to that. You got to remember, the Dallas Mavericks put the ingredient out on the Miami Heat last year when they went zone. Naturally, Mike Miller wasn't healthy. You have Mario Chalmers in there. I get what you're saying about guys on this squad who can hit the threes. I'm telling you, they will need to do that in this next series to blow the Pacers away the way you're claiming. And I'm not sure I'm willing to say that they won't do that without at least forfeiting 2 games.
Hey, Heat can play physically, they can play finesse, they can play slow,
They
can play
cannot.
fast.
They're not a physical team.
They
They're
can
not a
too. When they
physical team.
want
That's
to be,
not
they
true.
can be as physical as anybody. You just watch.
Well, LeBron can, Dwayne can, but they're not a physical team. Stop that.
Did you just take a shot at Chris Bosh?
No.
Okay, I thought you were.
But
gonna...
he's a finesse player.
Well,
he's
I think he can bang with people when he feels like it.
When you stop it. Come on.
We're going to find out.
Yes,
It's
we
going to
are.
be
We're
physical.
gonna find
Eric
out.
Spoelstra says it's going to feel like a cage fight, and I think that's Indiana's obviously their best chance to win is to take it to the physical side.